Morning, Didge. How you doing? Well, I'm gonna be making the trek up to Canada today. Gonna be picking up a brand new spray trailer. Speaking of Canada, you can still see the smoke in the sunrise. My thoughts are with everyone up there. I won't be going anywhere near the fires, but it's unbelievable how far that smoke travels. You can almost see Canada from here. We're actually not that close, but I do see soybeans coming through. All right, let's speed this process up. Oh, look, Canada. You guys aren't gonna believe this. They let me in. I got some bugs on the windshield on the way up, but it'll be all right. Well, there it is. That's the new water trailer here. This is the Dash trailer by Fiber. Derek's gonna tell us a little bit more about it, but I'm excited to pull this home. So this is an obvious big upgrade from the van trailer that we've been using for, I don't know, at least 10 years here. This is gonna hold 7,500 gallons of water. If we need all that, we've got 3 axles under it, obviously, 4 inductors. And this is Derek from Fiber Manufacturing. He's gonna walk us through and show me and you how we're gonna use this thing.
So the idea with the Dash is you preload everything before you go to before your sprayer pulls up, and that's how we get our speed. So the whole concept is to keep your sprayer going and not be stopped to fill all the time. We can add 20 to 25% increased sprayer capacity to most sprayers just by making it fill faster. Nothing else sort of special outside of that onto the sprayer we're doing. And so the idea is you preload everything into the 4 different inductors. You can keep all your chemicals separate so you don't ever want them touching. And then once it's all preloaded, the sprayer pulls up. You can do everything from the ground here. You got a boom to reach you through most of the ditches. And then after you're hooked up, you can load everything from right here. So you turn on your master water, fire up your pump, and then you can pull the handles to the corresponding levers. And then as you pull the handle...
Oh, we're across the border now, so it's a lever, not a lever?
Sorry, lever.
Oh, okay. Now I understand what you're saying.
It's also a decal, not a decal.
Not a decal, I did know that.
As you pull these handles though, what it does, I'll use the word handle now. What it does is if you look here, you can actually see how it opens this master water valve and let the chemical in. But as I pull further, it actually opens a second valve now, and it washes down the inductor as you're unloading.
So it's rinsing as
you're unloading. So the water is chasing the chemical out. So
and
now,
cleaning the tank.
And cleaning the tank. So when you go to shut it off, it shuts your rinser off first, so that you can suck that last little bit of water out, so you're left with a clean, empty tank every time.
I didn't even know that part.
Yeah. So that's kind of what's unique about this unit and just how it self-cleans. And I mean, you can do a proper clean out when you're switching from one product to another, but just you're always kind of keeping it clean all the time.
Sure.
So yeah, you send the, if you got a mixing order you want, well, just pull the handles in the corresponding order.
Yep.
And then once you do, like, we can empty an inductor like this in probably 30 seconds. So it doesn't take us long to, to send 50 gallons worth of chemical.
Yep.
That's with the water going full tilt the whole time. So like a 1,200 gallon sprayer, we'll refill that, and depending on the brand and their plumbing on the sprayer, but anywhere between 3.5 and 4.5 minutes.
For a 1,200 gallon
sprayer with 4 different products.
Wow.
So that's where the speed comes. So yeah, we did an 8-hour time test on one unit, and we were 4 minutes and 32 seconds on average from park brake up to park brake down. So
okay.
That's the real test. Hooking on hoses, that all counts, right? That's part of your stop time.
Yep.
And so we've tried to make the whole process as easy as possible so that you can keep it rolling. Not just fill fast, but keep it rolling. It's more than just filling fast. So
we just spent the last 15 minutes going over enough stuff to confuse me, which honestly isn't that much, but I'll figure it out when I get home by following hoses and stuff. One thing we haven't done is move this switch down here that says party mode.
Do it.
Is it safe?
Yes.
You can party in Canada?
You can party in Canada. Oh, flip it up.
Up.
Yep.
Whoa. Disco ball?
Here's your stage lighting. We don't have air pressure.
Oh, not enough air pressure. That one's up, huh?
You must have pulled the brakes, but yeah. So this pneumatic cylinders come out, lights up the whole side of the trailer for at night.
So does it come with a stage? Or a dance floor?
Right here. Yeah.
One of my favorite sayings is the world is your dance floor. I've always said that. That's the first time I've ever seen it. Yeah. Then we got a Bluetooth speaker right here. So this is the Hunter Brothers edition.
Yes, this is the Hunter Brothers Special Edition. So we have a special kit that we have developed for together with the Hunters. Hunters are a country music group. Encourage you to check them out. And what they form as well, they have a number of our systems, and both them and us, we kind of work a lot with people struggling with drug addictions. And so all the proceeds from the Hunter Brothers Special Edition trailer, which includes party mode and some of these extra kits, all those proceeds actually just go to charity. They go to different programs to help with addictions recovery. So yeah, that's kind of what that's all about.
And it's extra fun for the guy that's staying back loading the trailer.
Absolutely. We even have
party supplies?
Yes, party supplies. We even have a special fiber barrel and tote wrench.
So here's the main manufacturing part of the business. Derek was saying they pump. These guys are noisy.
They are always.
Almost a trailer a day?
Yeah.
A lot of the time?
About a trailer a day.
And you sell parts aside from just full trailers as well, so people can call and order a dash system here.
Or a small one.
And get their own inductor systems and put them together however they want.
Stairs, that kind of stuff. They can configure what they want.
Well, I'll head back home. We'll see if they let me back across the border and back into the States. There's a North Dakota missile silo right there. That's actually what that is. No follow-up questions. I don't really have any information besides that. Aww. Well, that took a turn quickly. Road grime all over my brand new trailer. Oh, would you look at that? There's a new sprayer in the yard. I honestly don't know if Dad went to get it or if the dealership brought it out or what. Well, there she is. It is a new to us, not brand new, but fairly close, John Deere 410R. But it's fairly late, so I'm gonna go see the family and we are gonna actually look at this more tomorrow. So, see you in the morning. Well, it's windier than heck out, so we definitely won't be spraying today. But we do have a new sprayer that we're gonna be going through and trying to figure out how to operate. So you're just holding one button down now?
Yes.
And it does all the functions in one?
Yes.
That's correct. So we put all the nozzles on that we want. The valve bodies on there have, they twist, so you can change the different nozzles for different products. So we put all the different nozzles on that we're gonna want for the different products that we're gonna use. Now I'm gonna grab the 7000 GPS receiver, that RTK receiver I used when planting, and I'm gonna move it over onto the sprayer, which is already loaded up with all of our fields and all of our information. So it should have all that. It should be able to grab the auto path and know where the planter drove, because this is on 120-foot booms. So we'll skip every other planter pass because that's twice as wide as our planter. So these are pretty simple. You just unplug the main harness here, flip the dealio tutor, and pull them off. In the meantime, Jim is back with a truck, so we're gonna get him loaded and get him out of here again. It's always fun loading trucks in the wind like this.
Going yet?
Not yet. He's still training us in on stuff. Well, he's loading. I'm gonna run back here and see how much corn is left in his back bin. We know we're getting pretty low in the bins that are tied in with the leg, which is gonna bring us to the bin back here that we had the roof recently fixed on from the storm last year. We left that one full so they could actually walk on top of the corn to fix the roof, but now that's done and we're gonna be getting down there in these bins, so we're gonna have to move back to that bin at some point here. A little more left in here than I thought. It's a ring and a half above the door yet.
Okay, it's about half ring above it runs out, maybe 100 bucks.
Probably.
If we run the sweep, maybe 4 more loads.
Yeah.
Then maybe get a 5 a day, hopefully.
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna be putting some water in here now, and he's gonna show us how to run the new monitor in there. It's so much different from the old one that there's just a lot to wrap your head around, and we just want to make sure it's right. So luckily we got a guy. Psych, we need a second monitor in there. Or maybe we don't need one, but we want one. Extended monitors in, and Chase is setting up our run pages just to make sure everything is kind of set up as efficiently as possible, so you're really only looking at what we're going to want to look at. And since we're gonna have to start pulling out of this back bin real soon, I'm gonna climb up in there and just walk around on top and make sure there aren't any chunks or any crusted spots. It should be pretty clean, but we haven't pulled anything out of it since we filled it last fall. And so if we had a moisture leak or something, there could be some crusted over corn in there. I'm just gonna go make sure there's not, and if there is, I'll break it up. Okay, before I show it here, I'm gonna explain to everybody that we have not pulled anything out of here yet. If we had pulled some stuff out, you wouldn't wanna go in on top, because if there was crust, that's one of the dangers of these bins. The crust could collapse and you fall into an empty cavity. And there you are, stuck. Not good. And here's the side of the roof that they fixed from the storm damage last year. Here's the side they weren't walking on. So this is not pretty. This isn't really crusted, but it's not fresh. It's not what we want to see. There is some moisture in that. It is a little warm. Best thing we can do is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna walk on it, break it up. We're gonna kick the fans on, and we're gonna pull the center down, get aeration going in here, and move this stuff. Dad's gonna turn those fans on for me and start loading here into the cart, and I'm gonna watch what's going on in here. It's not terrible, but it's not beautiful. It's just a good thing we caught this in time. I think it's gonna be fine. It's gonna blend off and be okay, but we wouldn't have wanted to wait any longer. I'm gonna have Dad shut it down so I can climb in there. I don't want to climb in there while things are moving. We got 100 bushels or so in the cart, so I'll go check it out. This is the first time we've had an issue like this in a long time. Well, it isn't good, but I've seen a lot worse. That falls apart. I think we need to pull more out before we really know, but I think we're okay. I think it's a good thing we caught it when we did.
It's time to get it out.
It is. So it was columned up in the middle, but when I reached my leg over and kicked it with one foot, it mostly just fell down.
Okay.
So it's like powder columned up.
It's not uncommon, especially since we didn't record the bin last fall. We couldn't.
Right. No, we couldn't because they were going to get in it.
Yeah.
So that's why coring the bins is so important.
It is. It's coming out cold on the bottom. Touch the tube, I think it might still be frozen there.
He's gonna finish loading out of that cart, and then I'll probably climb up there again, but we're definitely gonna just leave the fans on for a couple days and then start pulling out of there, start moving that stuff. Are we good up there? You want me in there? You ready for me? Okay.
Client
That's the
farm
same.
field as doing setup, client farm field.
But otherwise it just takes off to the same normal speed?
That you have
or whatever you have it set, yeah.
Yep, you have it set through your gear selector.
We spent a fair amount of time going over that. I'm gonna help Dad finish loading this truck here. And then we're gonna actually go through and test all the nozzles in there and start transferring water. It's extremely dusty out there today, so it's nice not to have to run in and out of the truck. Having one guy load and one guy run the truck is a lot easier. Another truck loaded. Now I'm gonna climb up this bin because they got another 600-800 bushels out of here. So that's definitely not great, but I know from pushing on it before that it's gonna slide its way down and be fine. It's a shame we had to leave it peaked up like this, but we had to get that roof fixed. We haven't had this problem in 15 years. It'll be just fine, but I'm gonna want to climb up again in another 1,000 bushels. I don't know if the camera will pick this up or not, but we're testing our nozzles here. So we got a keychain, little remote keychain, and we're able to switch that from nozzle to nozzle just to test these things out and make sure they're working. Now we are simulating like in field right now, so we've got it set to do 20 gallons per acre at 16.5 miles per hour. There you can see the water coming out, and it's detecting the nozzle size. So it's just under 1, which would make sense because we're set at a 1.
Nozzle 4 and nozzle 6 would give us a 1-0.
That's a
3 individual cans.
fancy 3-pack of Mountain Dew you got.
Yeah, it was 3-pack.
The dog showed up once we got pizza again.
Or they had to have them.
Well, there's the agronomist that's gonna tell us how soon we need to use this thing. Brent says we got 4 to 5 days yet, so that'll give us a little bit of time to get everything ready here. That's easier than having to start tomorrow. I was a little concerned about that. In the meantime, we'll load another truck. I'm gonna run my first test run here, so I get to be pilot. We gotta put in some diesel first. First, the juice. Oh, gonna need, there we go. I wonder how my ancestors used to do everything one-handed with their YouTube cameras. So there's our HMS button. What's that stand for?
Headland Management Solution.
And that sets my auto steer, my master control, and the boom height all in one button. And so we're moving. And it can set the speed, right?
Yes.
Okay, but I'm with you right now. I don't want that. There's 18 miles per hour, 19. We got 10 gallons to the acre, and it is holding pressure. We're out of field. That was quick. I did it. I sprayed 100 gallons of water through the new to us sprayer. So we're gonna take a minute now, and I won't bore you guys with it right now, but we're gonna go through an exact apply nozzle because these nozzles are pretty high tech, which is why we're gonna go through it, because I can't explain it real well right now. But like when I go around corners, it's gonna apply the same rate across, which means the nozzles on the outside are gonna be pulsing a lot faster than the nozzles on the inside. That's one of the things I do know about it. So it's a pretty advanced system. It's part of the performance upgrade kit that we had put on here, along with mobile weather. And man, there's a whole bunch of other things that we put on here. Basically, everything that we could. So it's pretty decked out. You guys are gonna be able to see that once I actually get up and moving and actually start spraying with the thing. Boom recirculation and lighting. Those are the other things we added to it. So it's actually got lights on the nozzles and underneath the boom so we can spray at night and be able to see everything. And we've got recirculation on the booms so that it's always circulating to cycle everything through the booms and back into the tank, so that it's not like a deadhead system. It is always moving product through to keep the product stirred or agitated, or however you want to say that, so that it's got a much more even distribution of the product. I hope that lighting system isn't too cool, because then I'm only going to want to spray at night. And another truck. And one more truck for the night. So overall, we'll get 8 trucks out of here and have them loaded again for the morning. We've got our sprayer kind of ready to go here. We're going to be looking at the water trailer tomorrow and hauling out a lot more corn, because it sounds like we got a few days before we actually have to spray. While this is going, I think I'll climb back up to the top and see just how it looks in there. Make sure we're good. I gotta run the girls to an activity now, but when I get back later, I think the electrician's got the lights up in that shed, so we're gonna go check those out. Were you taking a nap, Didge? You didn't have to get up. It's just kind of saying hi. Big stretch.